Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gabby Gabs and I am back with another video. Today we're actually starting a new series called the Hey Sis Lit Talk. If you guys already seen on the description below, today's conversation is going to be about the truth about pretty privileges. Why men might not approach you. It's going to be a very juicy topic because I feel like a lot of people don't actually understand the kind of lives that girls with pretty privileges actually live. Sometimes, there are good sides to it, but they also some dirty and dark sides to the pretty privileged life. So if you haven't liked already, don't forget to subscribe. And please, child, if you guys want me to be posting more consistently, I need you guys to be watching the ads because the ads are gonna give me the money. Give me the money. That is what we're here for. And without the money, I can't stay consistent because nothing's gonna motivate me to want to even film anymore. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic. Everybody talks about pretty privilege like it's all glitz and perks, but what if I told you it could actually keep men from approaching you? Yeah, that sounds like a bit weird. You're like, Gabby, what are you talking about? Like, every guy wants a pretty girl. But to be honest, some guys are actually intimidated by pretty girls, and sometimes they might feel like, oh, this girl's in a relationship, I can't be with her, and they just don't make that approach. So one thing that I noticed, like from back in the days when I don't say as pretty as I am right now, but I wasn't taking care of myself the way I do right now. Like now I make sure I have my nails done, my hair done, my lashes. I make sure I look presentable. In the past, it's not like I didn't want to do it. I guess maybe the finances were just not there, like for me to constantly be doing my nails on a monthly basis, to do my hair, my lashes. Like now, to always look good because people really look at you from first glance and they take it from there. So back in the days, I was approached by a multitude of people, people from different categories of society: rich people, average man, a poor person, bus conductor, a businessman, multiple things. It has drastically changed as I've started taking care of myself more, and the numbers of people that have approached me on a daily basis have reduced significantly. There are days when I genuinely don't even get approached by anybody. Like I can go to a restaurant, nobody approaches me, but I feel like it's because I scare people, not in a bad way, but it's sometimes being pretty can be very intimidating for both men and women. So we're gonna get into that today. So let's start off with, what is a pretty privilege? So a pretty privilege is the societal advantages a pretty or attractive deemed person receives. So for example, job opportunities, social perks, access to places, free things, and etc. We all know the pretty girls, they get it easy in life, but sometimes it does come at a cost. If we're being honest, everybody wants to be the pretty girl, but it's there's a lot of baggage that it also comes with. Number one, intimidating factor. Men assume just because you're beautiful, you're probably taken or you're out of the league, which could be true. Sometimes a girl is taken genuinely, but sometimes she's single. I know a lot of the time guys can approach your girl and be like, you're too pretty to be single, and it's yeah, because a lot of y'all just trying to get into my pants, if I'm being honest. Y'all know yourselves. And it's I feel like the average looking girl has a higher chance of getting into a long-term relationship, even leading to marriage, than a pretty girl does, because pretty girls are looked at only from face value. They don't really look at what's in their heart and what's in their head, That's one of the sad parts about pretty privilege. As much as it comes with its perks, it's also a lot of emotional baggage. The next one is fear of rejection. The more attractive somebody is perceived, the higher the chance of them being turned down by a woman. So guys will look at a girl and be like, yo, she's wearing LV, her makeup is on point, you can see it's HD lace, she's wearing designers, she looks good, she looks like she takes herself. Guys will be like, yo, this girl, she's a bit too expensive for me. When you take care of yourself, because sometimes you can make yourself pretty with money. That's the honest truth about life. Money does, make you look better. So girls that have their designers on, their nails and maintenance is always done, they look put together. guys are like, yo, this girl's probably gonna turn me down. Like, I probably don't have enough money to even like, you know, take care of her. Sometimes it is true. Like sometimes yes, the girl is like very expensive and stuff like that, and you probably get rejected. But it's like, you know, I have this saying that's like, people meet you where you meet yourself, and I feel like if you don't take care of yourself, it's kind of selfish for you to feel like the next person should actually take care of you. And not that like, oh, because I have a boyfriend, he must take care of everything. I'm talking about like in terms of like, if somebody sees you and you look well put together, like they're gonna be like, okay, this girl, like she takes care of herself, I'd also want to contribute to that. But it's like, if you come as a kokorosh, my dear, nobody's gonna want to put you in designers. You need to like put yourself on a certain level of like a hierarchy before you expect the next person to like, you know, put you there. That's just my, you know, it's my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. Some people want to be taken up from the bottom up. I feel like you need to put yourself in a place where like you would take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Like take care of yourself. Like you need to love yourself. And you know, it all starts with like self-love. If you love yourself, other people are also gonna love you as well. So take care of yourself if you expect the next person to take care of you. The next one is assumptions. People always assume you're stuck up or uninterested. And it's very true. Like I know a lot of people think that like pretty girls probably have like a resting bitch face, and like if you talk to them they're mean or whatever. I've had a lot of people tell me like, yo Gabby, I thought you were rude, but the minute I got to actually have a conversation with you, like you're actually like a nice person. And I for one have also like judged pretty girls like that as well. For example, my best friend, before Elizabeth and I actually became friends, I remember like the first time I met her was like in a social setting, and I saw her and she has like a resting bitch face. So I was like, oh, this girl, like she's pretty, but like she kind of looks rude. And then she came to the group where we were and she was engaging with everybody, and I got to talk to her and I'm like, damn, she's actually such a sweetheart. Like Elizabeth is actually, I think, the sweetest girl I know on the whole entire planet. I'm not even just saying that because she's my best friend, but like she has like such a sweet soul. She's like cupcakes and rainbows. That's like the best way to describe her. She's so mushy and she's just like, I don't know, like she's just a sweet girl. So it's like I judged her before I got to meet her. Like I'm like, this girl, she kind of seems like she's, you know, she's rude, whatever. She has a resting bitch face and she's pretty. Like she's probably like, you know, that girl, like diva. And it's like when I got to meet her, I'm like, girl, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Like she is a sweetheart. If you know Elizabeth, you guys know that like Elizabeth is such a sweet girl. So, you know, don't always judge a book by its cover, because unless you get to really meet the person who they genuinely are, like you'll never really know. And I feel like people really judge people off of like social media. You don't really like get to build connections with them, and I feel like that's really, really wrong. And I just actually want to add on to that, to be like, I know a lot of y'all talk about me on that, that group chat. I'm not gonna say it, but like y'all know what I'm talking about. To be like, hey, that's what he's going for. So people that look like so, and it's like, I'm genuinely someone who like, I love a genuine connection with somebody. Like my partner, it has to be a genuine connection. Like I understand, like yes, we want to talk about like, yeah, I want a trick. We all want tricks, let's be honest there. But if there's one thing that I've actually come to like realization about, is that like sometimes like gifts genuinely hold no value, like if it didn't come from like a good place, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's only the older you get, the more you realize that like sometimes like all the gifts and all the materialistic things in the world will genuinely not fill the emotional void that is being left in your heart by somebody that like doesn't genuinely, you know, appreciate you and value you. Like you carry those bags but you're crying. And I know it sounds nice online to be like, yeah, I'd rather cry in a Bentley than cry in a Hyundai. But if you really deep it, like a lot of people are dealing with a lot of like mental health issues because of like toxic relationships whereby they're being spoiled to death, but it's so toxic that like it's affecting them like on a mental health level. And it's like nothing should be worth your health. Like no materialistic things should be worth like your health and stuff like that. If somebody doesn't value you for who you are and consider you, because I feel like the best form of love is consideration. If you consider like how my actions and my words may affect the next person, I feel like that's like, you know, that's the best form of love. Because when you have that consideration of the next person, like you will know that like, okay, if I do this, it's gonna make this person upset, or if I do this, it's gonna be disrespectful. And I think that's like the purest form of love. So it's like, you know, with me, when it comes to my relationships, I don't base it off of like, oh, this guy looks fine. Like, I mean, I like a fine boy, yes, but sometimes I like a little bit of a Grinch. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I like a Grinch, and that's the truth. And it's because mainly, I think the reason why I'd say that is because I'm genuinely following like a genuine connection that I have with the person. Like, you know, the person is down to earth. We have a genuine connection. Like, you can actually sometimes like, you know, put it aside. I think for me, the Grinch thing, like, I don't mind the Grinch thing. For me, my problem is like weight. I can't do like the weights. Like, I can't do someone who's a little bit too big for me. I need somebody who's a bit, you know, tender, not tender, but like, you know, toned, you know, not too skinny, but like good average size body, you know what I mean? So I can put aside the Grinch looking face and I can kiss you or whatever, but the minute you're coming to me, just fat potato, I go bye bye. So it's like, don't judge a book by its cover, you know? The next one is hypervisibility. Always being looked at but never genuinely being seen or pursued. A lot of pretty girls don't get into serious relationships because guys want to pursue them all in the sake of like, she's pretty, she's got a nice body, I just want to get in her pants, which is really painful. Like, the average girl doesn't really suffer from that. And what I want to add on to that is the fact that like, people don't understand, like, the pretty girls actually see the worst kind of men. There's a video that I came upon on TikTok that was explaining that like, pretty girls get to experience dating married men, which isn't a nice thing. They get to experience like the cheaters, you know, guys who would do anything, guys that are in marriages and serious relationships that would do anything just to get in their pants. So it's like, they're always alert when it comes to things, you know. The average girl who doesn't really experience guys that will go to like maximum extents to just be with them, like, they don't really suspect things. I for one, like, you know, I've been in, you know, kind of messy situations before, and it's made me very like hyper vigilant when it comes to like my relationships. Like, I'm always like, if this nigga's not picking up his phone, like, he's probably with a girl, or he's this, or like, I'm just always so curious, so anxious, and, you know, always suspicious of like, you know, behavior. And if I'm being honest, 9 times out of 10, my suspicions are always right. My gut instinct has never been wrong whenever I felt like this nigga is up to something. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, like, pretty girls actually get to experience the worst kind of men. They get to experience married men who sneak out in their marriages to meet them. They get to meet men that would pay more money to, like, not pay more money, but like spend more money than they even spend on their serious partner just to go on a date with the girl, just to experience being around that girl and her aura, because it's such an ego boost for men to be around a pretty girl. Which, like, as I said, it sounds all nice on paper, but when you genuinely deep it, like, it's kind of like a lot of emotional baggage. Now, moving on to the next segment, the pros of pretty privilege. Number 1, forced access to opportunities. People literally throw things on your lap. You could be a model, an influencer. You could get like a job opportunity because maybe your boss has a crush on you because you look good. Just a lot of things. Like, people really pay attention more to the person who looks more attractive and draws more attention to the room. So it's like faster opportunities. The second one is people are more helpful and kinder and friendly to a pretty girl compared to the average looking girl. If you put an average looking girl here and a pretty looking girl here, and they're both dealing with the same problem, people are going to attend to the pretty girl first because she draws attention to the room. It's the unfortunate truth, but yeah, it's the truth, because society really looks at you from the face value before anything else, which is sad, but like I said, it's the hard truth of the 21st century. The last one is more likely to get attention in professional and social settings. So it's like the perks, as I said earlier on, to be like, if I'm to go to a club or an event and maybe I don't have like a ticket, but I'm a pretty girl, they're like, no, she's pretty like Larry. And this has happened to me before, whereby I'm gonna explain 2 scenarios. There are these, you know, the famous clubs in this your work or whatever. I didn't know until like a very late stage, like years on at sitting in that club, that people actually pay entrance fee. I have never in my life paid an entrance fee to a club, and that comes with like pretty privileges and also like just connections with knowing people and stuff like that. And there are people that genuinely pay to go to enter the club, and I'm like, the same club that I just enter, like, yeah, our sisters here are literally paying like 200 rand to get inside, and it's like, that's crazy, you know. So it's like pretty privileges help in like, you know, social settings like that. Another example, I remember when I was going to Balcony Mix like some years ago, I think my friend was the one that was supposed to get like the tickets for us. When we got there, like, it was a whole commotion at the gate, and because of pretty privileges, the two guys that were organizing the event, I'm not gonna mention their names, but you guys know the people that organized balcony mix. They just say like, let the pretty girls in for free today. Like all the pretty girls literally got in for free today, and it's like, you know, those are the advantages that come with it. And like, I know like a lot of like girls who are not as pretty, or you know, they get so upset. But it's like, honestly speaking, like this is the 21st century, and I'm not trying to be like a girl hater and anything like that, but it's like people really like look at you from here before here. They will never hear what you have to say if you don't look, you know, presentable and stuff like that. So it's like, I know a lot of pretty girls complain about like, oh, clubs don't let them inside because of the way they're looking, whatever, and stuff like that. But it's like, I feel like people meet you where you meet yourself, and that is the honest truth. Like, if you take care of yourself, people are gonna want to take care of you. So it's like, you know, take good care of yourself, and you're gonna see that people will actually like see your value. Because if you don't see your value, how do you expect the next person to see your value? It doesn't make sense to me. The next topic is going to be the cons of pretty privileges. Number one, objectification. People value your looks more than your intellect or your personality. I know a lot of time people think that like pretty girls are like dumb. They literally look at pretty girls as dumb blondes basically. They don't think they can get an education. They don't think they can run a business. They don't think they can drive. They just don't think they can do anything of value. And it's like a lot of the time pretty girls actually have to work 10 times harder than the average looking girl in society to prove that like we actually can get things done, which is sad, but it's like, it's the honest truth. The next one is jealousy and isolation. The average looking girl will look at the pretty girl and she'll be jealous of her, especially even in the workplace. Like you get girls who basically isolate themselves from like the pretty girl. Like they'll be like, ah, this girl, she's too pretty. Like who does she think she is? They sabotage opportunities for you because you're pretty and they're jealous. And it's like, damn, can we all just win? Can we all get the money? You know, the next one is difficulty in forming genuine connections. People may approach you with alternative motives. As I explained like earlier, like guys just look at you and they're like, yeah, I just want to hit because she has a nice body, she has a nice face. It boosts their ego. Whereas the average looking person, like they meet them, they build a genuine connection. It's never because of like, oh, this girl's body is like, oh my god, her face is like this. Like you get to know them for who they genuinely are. So like if there's one thing that like I wish like the pretty girls would get is that like people looking at them beyond like just like face value and like seeing what's inside their hearts and seeing what's in their head. Because like, you know, we're human at the end of the day. We're also human too. Like we have feelings, you know. And yeah, and that goes on to like my next one to be like being misunderstood and dismissed feelings. People think you're just too pretty to have problems. Guys, pretty people deal with a lot of problems. Pretty people can go through financial issues, they can deal with mental health issues, they can have issues at home, all those kind of things. And I feel like people always dismiss them to be like, ah, you're too pretty to have problems, or like I said, you're too pretty to be single. But it's like, I don't really want to get into like too much detail with it, but it's like I've dealt with a lot of like mental health issues because of like social media and all those kind of things. And that goes back to like a question that somebody asked me in the comment section in one of my previous vlogs, to be like, why did I make my account private? And why don't I post as much on Instagram? And why don't I accept follow requests? And it's because like I've dealt with a lot of bullying, and it's like I'm not the kind of person who likes to go out and, you know, point fingers to be like, you said this about me. Like I get done dirty like a lot by a lot of people, friends, boyfriends, family members as well. But I'm just not the kind of person who really likes to go online and like address things. Like I'm someone who genuinely just, you know, if I'm not like talking to my friend about like, your friend, like this person did me dirty, like I just keep it to myself. Like I don't like to be the one to call people out online, because I feel like it draws attention to like more people that don't even know about the current situation. But it's like I deal with bullying on a daily basis, you know, and it has really affected like my mental health like drastically. It's not something that I want to talk about like in depth, but it's like, guys, be kind to people. Like you don't know like people's situation at home. Like you don't know, like that person could be literally on their last straw, and your words have so much impact on somebody, and people don't know, like, you know, there's power in the tongue, you know. The tongue can speak life and death, and people don't really take that serious. And it's like, it takes nothing for you to be kind. It takes nothing from you to withhold making a nasty comments about someone, you know. So it's like, you know, pretty people too have problems as well, you know. So be kind. But anyways, that concludes the end of today's video. I hope you guys like this series that I'm starting. if you guys want me to make different videos about different topics on this Hey Sis Let's Talk series that I've just started, comment down below what you guys would like to see next in my next episode, and what other vlogs and all the other videos you guys would also like me to see. And don't forget to watch the ads. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Watch the ads. Watch the ads. Because what's giving me that money. And it's what's going to help me be consistent, because this is not a hobby. I'm here for the money. But anyways, thank you guys all for watching. I hope you liked it. Bye.